Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Hi. My name is, well, first of all, excuse the background because for some reason it's a gorgeous day today and the sun is coming right in on me. And so my apologies if there's a slight glare, but hopefully you can see it okay. So thank you all for joining me today. My name is Linda Jordan with LRJ Coaching and Business Solutions. And so today I want to talk with you about leaders need coaching too. So if you're just joining me today, um, please put in the comments, say hello or where you're listening from. I'd love to know who's on the call with me today. And if you're watching this on replay, just do hashtag replay. Oh. And I want to make sure that my phone is silent. So hopefully everyone has had a great week. It is Wednesday already. Hard to believe the week has gone by so far so quickly. So just a couple of things. Just wanted to share with you, I have an upcoming coaching workshop. It's called Coaching for Leaders. It's a skills transformation 6-week workshop. And I will put that's also in the comments, so you can find that information on Eventbrite. And for those that are needing or would like to have a session with me, there will be in the comments a link to my 30-minute strategy call. So with that, I'll get started. So I was reading an article today and I thought it was very relevant and very important that I share with you all today. It says the article was 6 reasons why all leaders need coaching. And so this is around emotional intelligence. And the eye-catching thing for me was that it says there are 3 leadership skills that are going to be required for the future going forward. 3 leadership skills that are going to be required for the future going forward. And so these are the 3 that I'll share with you. Communication. The second is collaboration. And then the third was coaching. And I thought that was so timely because my topic today is coaching for leaders. So the 3 skills that it says, according to Blessing White Consulting Company, the 3 skills that leadership skills are going to be required for the future are communication, collaboration, and coaching. And so you're probably thinking, well, coaching for leaders, well, do leaders really need coaching? Well, yes, they do. And it's not that they don't know what they're doing, but it's just that leaders are busy. So the number one, I'll give you 3 reasons why leaders need coaching. Number 1, leaders have so much to do. They are very busy and oftentimes can have distractions. So I worked in corporate America for almost 30 years, and I was going all the time, here, there, meetings, trying to get my one-on-ones together, trying to touch base with the team, make sure everything was going well. Didn't have time for me to, make sure that I was doing what I needed to do, meeting my goals and objectives. So I ended up having to have a coach because I needed some balance. Things were just a little bit hectic. I was going through my schedule and I was following everything I needed to do. But, as I said, there were so many distractions that go on when you're in a leadership role that you do need to take time for yourself to make sure that you are on track, making sure that you as a leader are doing what's necessary to bring your team along with you to make sure that you're meeting your goals and objectives. So yes, leaders are very busy. We get distracted. And so we need a little coaching as well. And so if coaching is one of those 3 skills that's needed in the future, then maybe this is for you. You may be a leader who has a lot going on and you don't really have time for yourself to make sure that, yes, you're getting all your tasks done for the day, but are you looking at the goals and objectives to making sure that there's complete alignment with what you're doing? Are you allowing those distractions, those impromptu phone calls or distress calls that you need to take care of? Are you able to get that done and get your normal tasks done along with staying in all these meetings. So oftentimes leaders just need some time to set aside for themselves, have a conversation with a coach, and just lay out the land of what needs to happen so that you can remove some of these distractions, so that you can also do a little bit more delegation. I can say for me, when I was in corporate as a leader, yeah, it was hard for me to delegate. And that's because I was a perfectionist, I'll admit it. But I learned very quickly that I couldn't do everything all the time, and I wasn't good at doing everything all the time. So I had to learn through my coach that I needed to delegate some of those responsibilities to my staff members so that they could get things done more efficiently and more effectively, because I was so busy trying to get all these other things done. So, it's important for leaders to have a coach. It's important for them to have someone that they can talk to about what's on their plate. What are the challenges that they have? And, coaching it's a good thing. I know when I was in corporate, people always thought that coaching was a bad thing. And that's because at times you only heard of coaching when someone had a performance issue, and then human resources comes in and they recommend that the person has some coaching. So oftentimes people associate coaching with something negative, but coaching is the positive things. If you realize or think about it, that oftentimes leaders who are at a higher level, they all have coaches. Think about basketball players, football players, anyone that's an athlete, they all have coaches. And that's so that they can perform even better than what they're performing. So a coach is a positive, not a negative. So yes, leaders need coaching too, because we are very busy, distracted, and we need someone to make sure that we're on task. We're doing the things that are necessary to be successful in our business. The second reason that leaders need coaching is that, unfortunately, leaders don't always get the feedback that they need. Leaders don't always get the feedback that they need. So, when I worked in corporate, I'll just give you my examples. I always thought that I was doing really, really well. And most of the times I was. But sometimes those subtle things that you don't think about is what your staff or team may be looking for. And so my coach allowed me to see where I had some of these gaps. And so one of the gaps that was identified in when I had coaching was around that which leads into the third reason, is around listening. So oftentimes we think that we're listening to what our team is saying, but we're probably only hearing a small portion of it. So you have to be listening with intent to make sure that you're not missing any of those important things or items or tasks that the person is sharing with you. And so for me, it was very important to listen with intent. It was very important for me to have a coach. And so if you are a leader who is struggling with having so many tasks to get done for the day, struggling with, balancing your team, balancing work and life, you may be someone who could benefit from coaching. And so, again, coaching is a good thing, not a bad thing. And the third reason that oftentimes leaders may need coaching is that we have so much going on and we may not realize that we are telling our staff of what they need to do rather than asking them. So it's telling rather than asking. And it may seem small, but that's a huge thing when it comes to effective communication. People want to be asked and not told. Now, there are some cases sometimes when, you're going through a crisis as a leader and you've got to get something done expeditiously, and you're just, telling people what they need to do because that's what's required at the moment. But the best and most effective way to do that is to ask them. Think about it from your kids. When we tell them things to do, they say, oh, you're so bossy. Or sometimes they don't want to maybe listen to what you're telling them to do because, those are your children. So think about it that way. when we're working with adults, we need to make sure that we're asking, because they may feel like, oh, you're treating me like a kid, or you're treating me like you're one of your children, because you're not asking me, you're telling me. So it's always very important to take a few moments, just a few moments, a nanosecond of breath, and ask the person to do something rather than tell them, because people don't always want to be told. When they're being told to do something, oftentimes they may not listen as well. And so we as leaders, we need to listen also. So those are the three areas that are important for leaders to be mindful of. And those are some areas that can help when it comes to coaching. So I'll repeat those so you have those. The first one was leaders are busy, and sometimes being busy can be a distraction. The second is that leaders oftentimes don't get all the feedback that we need to make sure that we are doing a good job, making sure that we're effective, making sure that our team knows what is expected. And then thirdly is that we as leaders don't always get all the feedback that we need, so that we can make sure that we're on point with what we're doing, making sure that we're communicating effectively, making sure that people are listening to what we're asking them to do, not telling, what we're asking them to do and not telling. And so if any of this around coaching for leaders resonates with you, or if you've experienced anything like this in your workplace or personally, then I invite you to join me with a Coaching for Leaders 6-week workshop program. And I have posted that in the chat. In the 6-week program, we will cover, and I'll read those to make sure I don't miss anything, but we'll talk about the different ways for coaching skills for leaders and managers. We will talk about curiosity and the power of coaching. We'll do some practical applications so that you really know how to have these effective conversations. We will talk about building rapport and connecting. Most importantly, and my favorite of all, is listening intentionally. As I said before, we often listen, but we're not listening for intent. And so what that means is listening for understanding, and not just hearing, what the person said, but listening for understanding. And that's really critical in the workplace. And then again, just do more practical application so that you can understand and know how to have these coaching conversations with your team, with your staff. It's very important that we communicate effectively. Most importantly now, with COVID, everyone's working remotely, and so you don't always have that opportunity, or you don't have that opportunity unless you're going into the workplace to have a conversation with a staff member where you may be walking through the hall, going to another meeting, or just taking a few moment break. And I know of those times when I worked in corporate, I could just be walking down the hall, and then I see someone and it reminds me I need to have a quick conversation with them. So we don't have those opportunities because everyone's working remotely. Now you have to schedule those times to make sure that you are engaging with your teams and making sure that everyone is included in all the conversations. And this is one of the reasons why it is very important that leaders have coaches, so that you want to make sure that you have all the tools available to you to be effective with your teams working remotely, or if you're trying to balance staff that's remotely and the staff that's in the office, because sometimes there could be different needs because they're in two separate environments. So again, I invite you to join me. It will start March the 1st. And again, it's a 6-week program, and I will post the information in the chat. So I welcome you all leaders to come and learn about Coaching for Leaders Skills Transformation. It's a 6-week workshop. So we're going to look at the 360-degree coaching experience, and it's going to be a very great learning experience for all the leaders who have not been exposed to coaching. And so, again, I will post this in the chat. And if you have an opportunity, definitely read that article on Coaching for Leaders. And I'll just share a few tidbits with you before I go. one of the key reasons that coaching for leaders is so important, and it indicates that turnover has cost organizations $223 billion as of 2018. 223 billion, and 60% of employees who left their jobs said that they left for the reason of the manager. So if I can help managers be better leaders, learn how to have those effective conversations with their teams to prevent staff from leaving, to prevent turnover, to increase and boost engagement, then call me, connect with me so that I can help you, increase, I'll say decrease any turnover rates, but also increase employee engagement. So thank you for your time today. I look forward to hearing from those who are interested in the program. It is going to be very exciting. Again, it's a 6-week program for coaching for leaders. So this is Linda Jordan with LRJ Coaching and Business Solutions. I look forward to hearing from you all. And if those that are interested in a free 30-minute freedom of choice conversation with me, I welcome you to book some time with me on my calendar. I will post that in the comments as well. So have a great day, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.